Joining us now, former prosecutor and NBC News legal analyst Charles Coleman and MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin. I mean, this was a biting motion from Jack Smith's team, and it went further than any other legal filing that we've seen from him in regards directly to Judge Aileen Cannon's own decisions.
Yeah, and the frustration, Katie, almost leaps off the page. We are dealing, I just want to give you and our viewers some context. We are dealing with a judge who has left undecided a number of really important issues as we approach a trial in this case for which a date has not been set. And yet, despite that, she has asked both sides to propose jury instructions on this very particular issue rather than submit jury instructions all at once, as is conventionally done. What the government is saying is this is basically like a bad car crash between two totally different statutes, right? You've got the Presidential Records Act over here, the Espionage Act over here, and nary the two shall meet until now, when Donald Trump is asking you to decide that one essentially preempts the other.
Explain the Presidential Records Act and why it is even at issue here.
So the Presidential Records Act, the purpose of that was to enable the government to hold presidential records after a person leaves office. It was to protect the government, not to protect a president. But Trump's people are citing a particular provision that says the president, in their own discretion, can designate certain records that are private, of a purely personal character, as presidential. Trump's argument is that he could have, not that he did, but that he could have and had the legal right to designate all of the records he is accused of willfully retaining as personal, and that by taking them with him when he left the White House, that is essentially the designation that he made.
But Charles, hasn't the Trump team filed a motion regarding this, trying to say that this case should be thrown out because of the Presidential Records Act? And if they filed a motion on it, why doesn't she just decide on that motion before? I guess, what does it mean to have her have the jury instructions be laid out before even deciding on that motion?
Well, Kenny, we're not trying to necessarily read the tea leaves as it relates to Aileen Cannon, because if you do, you're all over the place. And I think your question in and of itself and how it's framed, which I think is appropriately framed, illustrates for our audience just how backwards Aileen Cannon has been from the very start, before the actual indictment itself, in terms of how she has ruled around this investigation. Even when you look back to the decisions around the special master, what was allowed, what wasn't allowed, pre-indictment, when the investigation was taking place, Aileen Cannon has shown a very strong history of being partial toward Donald Trump. That is the most basic way that I can play this. And then if you're talking about what it looks like now, what it really is shaping out to is skewing the calendar in such a way that her decisions will come down at a point that is ultimately prejudicial, which is what Jack Smith is arguing, against the prosecution, and prevent this trial from going forward before November, which is exactly what they would like to avoid.
If she doesn't decide on this, say that goes to trial, is there a scenario where she could decide on the Presidential Records Act herself, even before it gets to the jury, Charles?
There is, and I think that ultimately what Jack Smith is looking for is, if that's the way you're going to go, let's get that done as soon as possible so that I can move forward and appeal, whether that's seeking a writ of mandamus, which is basically allowing the 11th Circuit to instruct her on what not to do, or moving forward in some other capacity around an appeal. What he wants is a decision that's made, because either you are going to put this argument to bed around the Presidential Records Act entirely, and you're going to leave it alone so that Donald Trump and his defense team can no longer touch it, or you're going to grant that request, move forward in that way, and give me the right to appeal, because this has no business in this conversation, given that he is not charged with violating that, but that he is charged with violating the Espionage Act. And because of that, he's trying to put pressure on her, make a decision one way or the other, so that I, as a prosecutor, know what I'm dealing with.
Hey, everyone. MSNBC has a new and improved app. You'll get real-time alerts and analysis, live blogs, in-depth essays, video highlights, and the best 2024 election coverage. Download the new MSNBC app. Here's how to do it. You tap on the App Store on your phone. You hit search on the bottom right corner. You type in MSNBC. You click on the MSNBC app. You click on Get or the cloud icon and enjoy it.